Hello, hello, hello everyone, NickWithTheMX here, and welcome back with more Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior, whichever you prefer to call it. And let me see here, it's been a little while. Flame Sword, Magic Armor, Large Shield, that's what I figured. Okay, so we're at the point where like sort of the next step is to get the Silver Shield, which we're at 10,000 experience and 5,800 gold. The issue is we're going to need more than that, so it's the long, slow grind towards the 14,800 that it costs to get a Silver Shield. And where's my experience chart? So at 10,000 experience, so we're at 13,000 is the next sort of goal where we get the next level. There's no spell there. Like I said, I dislike using too much emulator, slowdown, speed up, reverse, that kind of stuff. But for the sense of this where it really is just going to be a long, slow grind, I am going to be doing this. Alright, so let me do this. You're not healing yourself. I didn't get to heal. Can I possibly put it to sleep? Okay, cool. Alright. Yeah, let's not... Yeah, I should have just done what I was doing before and just stayed near the front and dipped in each time for, to stay at the end. That would, you know, kind of make it slower in terms of money, but it'll let the experience sort of catch up, you know? A wizard. Alright, obviously these major. We're going to go ahead and stop spell him. It will not work. Okay, let's try it one more time. It will not work. Okay, we got to run. So, yeah, that's sort of the problem here. I mean, obviously I could go back to Rimuldar and fight the enemies near there, or the enemies in the island south of there to make it safer, but it's a lot slower that way, too. And I'm not always going to have that kind of bad luck. Alright, we got it. Alright, got off pretty scot-free there. Oh, here's another one. Alright. Stop spell. Oh, it didn't work. Stop spell. Worked. Okay. Definitely heading in after this one. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, let's do this. I had an idea to do more, like, NES stuff, and I had a crazy idea. Okay, we did it. You can't heal. Of what my next, like, NES game would be. You know, and I was thinking, actually, believe it or not, I was thinking of doing, Deadly Towers. Which is considered by very many to be like a really terrible game, and I never quite well, he can't like do much, right? Just attack. But oh, he's dodging, that's not good. But on the other hand, it's not as bad as people say, and I think it would be cool to like actually play through the whole thing and you know, to sort of show, hey, look, this game it's not like a classic, but it's not terrible either. Good thing is I am slowly getting money here. We're at 6,200. So doing it this way does kind of slow it down a little bit, but the experience is worth it. Because you want to fight more, not less. Oh boy. And he just murders me right away. Alright, we gotta... Alright. Whoop, whoop, went too far. So I was thinking, yeah, like, maybe like a series of... You know, just to show these games, they're not classics, but they're playable. No, I gotta run. He got me, like... He had ambushed me anyway, so... That was bad. Games that are not exactly classics, but they're not terrible, flawed games, you know? I don't know, I have like a whole history with Deadly Towers. It's pretty interesting. And of course I'd talk about it, you know, in the actual playthrough. but I might as well bring it up here since I'm grinding and speed grinding at that. We can actually talk about something, right? So, you know, I never owned the game back in the day, but we rented it a few times. Oh, I didn't stop spelling. I still am in danger here. Yeah, I didn't stop spelling at the beginning. That was a big mistake. Let's run back to there and actually do it. So we rented it a few times, and everything. It's a pretty cool game, but it's like all the things that people say about it are like they're true about other games, you know. Like, you know, Zelda's just as Byzantine, and I'm not saying that it's as good as Zelda because it's not, you know, but. It seemed like, oh, this seems like a pretty cool game. And I remember we actually rented it a few times, but never actually managed to find a copy to actually buy, right? And it was just sort of this, like, one of those games that I played in my childhood, you know, a few times, and never saw the entirety of it. And it was always sort of in the very back of my head. And, you know, when growing up and, you know, the internet becomes, like, a big thing. And I wound up going to a site, SeanBaby.com, and if you remember Sean Baby, he was this really big dude on the internet from back in the day, and I mean big both in stature and in popularity. He's a giant of a man. He's also a really cool guy, actually. I'm friends with him on Facebook, but dragon. He wrote this list. It was like the 20 worst NES games. Because there was a whole section of his website that was basically just NES stuff, you know. Some of the humor is very dated by today's standards, but it's still pretty funny stuff, you know. Anyway, so I read this list and I'm going through it and I'm like, yeah, it's a bad game. Yeah, it's a bad game. You know, just kind of, oh God, I hate when they ambush you. You know, just sort of like agreeing with everything he said. I gotta run. And a few of those games on there that I had played or even owned. And then we get to number 1, and out of nowhere, it was Deadly Towers, and I'm like, huh? That's a bad game? Really? I mean, it's not like I said, it's not a classic by any means, but how is it a bad game? Much less the worst NES game of all time. And he seemed to, like, you know, really hate it to the point where it, like, wasn't even kind of, like, funny in a way. You know, where it was like, oh, I'm way overstating how bad it is. And to me, that seemed kind of disingenuous, you know, because it's one thing to say I don't like it or it's bad, but to say it's the worst game on the NES is just, it's not only, it goes beyond hyperbole to it's just an outright not true, you know? And to me, it seemed almost like more of like a personal vendetta, like show me on the doll what the game did to you, Sean Baby, you know, like I really want to, I want to know why it's that serious. I'm heading back in. Oh no. Anyway, so that was sort of in the back of my head, and it was like kind of this interesting thing that when somebody on the internet who's a very popular sort of talking head says something that's opinionated like that, everybody kind of goes along with it. A perfect example is a lot of people think that Simon's Quest is a bad game because of Angry Video Game Nerd. And it's funny is that nobody really thought that before AVGN came out. Nobody was thinking that. Nobody disliked it like that. There might have been people who, you know, out of the 3 Castlevanias out on the NES, that one's my least favorite, you know. But nobody was out saying that it just straight up sucked. Oh, I didn't. I might still be able to do this. It's gonna come down to the... No, not if he's hitting me like that. Yeah, forgetting to stop spell them is like the worst thing I can do. But anyway, here, do it here. There we go. And I'll say something about Simon's Quest, and somebody will be like, well, isn't that really bad? And I'll be like, have you played it? I'm like, no, but I've heard it was really bad. I was like, well, why don't you play it and form your own opinion then? You know, like, why are you basing what you're saying on Angry Video Game Nerd, who's a fictional character, not even a real person, you know? Now, Sean Baby's a real guy, though. And as much as what he writes might be kind of like a writer's persona, he's not playing a character. It's not like AVGN, you know? So it was sort of interesting is that when AVGN did do an episode on Deadly Towers, and I know this is sort of like experimental, he kind of crowdsourced the script. And basically every line in it was written by somebody else. And to me, that kind of says that, yes, it's sort of an experimental idea, but at the same time, it's also saying, I don't have anything really to say about this game. I don't have a strong opinion of it. You guys tell me what you think. You're the ones who keep asking me to do it, so you write the episode, you know? And I don't think it worked out all that well, to be honest, and that's, you know, one of his less memorable episodes. And he's never repeated that trick, you know? And I think a better take on it would be like what he... Oh, God, I hate when they attack first. He did the Zelda 2 thing, and he's like, bad game? What are you talking about? It's a good game. But he still was able to do an episode on it, you know, that it's a good game, but it has its flaws that we could talk about and make funny. Oh, my God, really? Of course that happened. So, yeah. So I had this thought to actually play through the entirety of Deadly Towers, because I never had played through the entirety of it. And I did that not too long ago, and I was like, and I thought, you know what, I think this would be, oh God, stop attacking me first. It's like almost every battle. I'm gonna get killed here. Oh, no, got a crit, okay. It's like almost every battle it's happening. And it has nothing to do with level, by the way, it's just completely random. I thought it would make a good playthrough. You can sort of show it. There's people who are like, oh my God, this game sucks. It's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, have you played it? No. Or what's even worse is they actually have. But they colored their opinions so much on what other people said that they, you know, they basically just kind of didn't give it a chance, you know? Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying it's good or great or anything. I think it's pretty average overall. But I think it's interesting that most people have not played through the whole thing or even seen the whole thing played through. So I think it would be a fun little project. And I was thinking about some other games that I think are totally playable but have this like super negative connotation when people talk about NES games. Another good example is... what's that game? Silver Surfer. It's certainly got its flaws. It's very difficult. It's another one that I kind of recently... Like, let me play through this all the way, you know? And I didn't stop spelling. Let me do it here. And, you know, what's funny is that I found that it's not even as hard as I remember it being. And I think part of that is, you know, obviously having an emulator helps, but part of it is also just, you know, I'm not a kid anymore, you know? No, you're not healing. Alright, I'm heading in. Not a kid anymore, I don't know. So we're at 8100. We're getting there. I'm trying to go back less, but... Like, I was doing that because it's, in a way, almost faster than sitting here and slowly using heal, which doesn't often give you enough that you have to cast it several times. Oh, God, I forgot to stop spelling. Oh, it didn't work. I didn't notice that it failed. There we go. Rough. If I had mid-heal, it would be better, you know, but you don't get that for another 2 levels, right? Yeah, level 17, which is at 16,000 experience points, by the way. Oh my god, I'm tired of the wizards. If I could just run into dragons and terrorwolves, I'd be pretty happy about it. Oh, it didn't actually work, did it? It's because I looked away at the experience chart. The spell will not work my ass. Hold on, you can't actually... I didn't mean to hit sleep. Oh, we got it, okay. That's fine, I guess. Alright. See, I had this idea to, like, occasionally do specifically NES games that maybe suffer a poorer reputation than they deserve, you know? Well, not saying, oh no, you're wrong, these are good. It's saying that just because something's just average doesn't mean it's bad. And I think a lot of people... Yeah, Hydelide's another one, by the way. Absolutely would want to do Hydelide. But I think a lot of people say, well, there's so many great games on the NES. There's so many, like, classics that why would you play something like Hydelide or Silver Surfer or Deadly Towers, right? And it's like, well, why wouldn't you when you're, you know, when you're in your 40s and you've been playing NES for literally 30 years. More than 30 years, actually. So, you know, when you've been playing it for over 3 decades, you know, how many times... Oh, sleep. How many times can you go through the Zeldas and the Dragon Quests and everything? Like, yeah, I'm playing this for the first time in a while. I've been playing the remakes, you know? But, yeah, like, there comes a point where you want to explore the games that are sort of in the middle. They're not classics, nor are they, you know, unplayable garbage. But I think that people get so hyperbolic that anything that's like a 7 out of 10 or... I'm not saying that those games... I don't think Highlight is a 7 out of 10. Right? Deadly Tower is more like a 6, you know? That means they're garbage because there's a lot of 9s and 10s on the system, you know? And sometimes it just comes from people who don't know how to play them. Let's be real. Highlight was an interesting case because it came out really late. Not late in the NES library, but oh god, what happened? I think I missed it at one point and that screwed me over. Oh, he attacked first. Let's see if I can maybe do it anyway. No. We're gonna have to avoid this encounter. It's because he attacked first. Yeah, like compared to like Zelda or Mario 3 or something, yeah, maybe a game like that, you'd be, that's not worth my time, you know. But yeah, like how many times can you play the same things? Oh, I didn't stop spell. Got it. Okay. I'm running out of magic, so I'm gonna head back after this. Figure if I am gonna speed grind, I didn't plan on doing that initially, but I kind of have to. We might as well. We're almost at 10k. Might as well talk about stuff, right? Since we're playing an NES game, let's talk about NES stuff. But yeah, growing up, I had lots of games on the NES that were total classics, and then I had lots of games that weren't. And I had some games that were absolutely terrible. You know, I had the X-Men game, for example, it's just garbage. And I didn't even like get that. I didn't like get that by choice. I didn't like go and be like, yes, X-Men. I found it. I found the game lying in the street. You know, suggesting that somebody threw it there. You know, like, when was the last time you saw an NES game outside? Right? Somebody threw it there. It was a funny story. I was walking to the store to get something for like my parents or something, and because they were always sending me off to the store, you know, I saw what looked like an NES cartridge lying there, like slightly off the sidewalk, you know. And I looked at it. It was the X-Men cartridge, and I thought, was somebody carrying this and they dropped it? Like, how did this wind up here? How could that have possibly happened, right? Like, what? Oh, like, what is that, right? So anyway, how come you could use sleep out of battle, but you know, and it doesn't do anything, and it actually takes your magic points away, but you can't use, when you try to use something like evac, you know, outside in battle, it just doesn't take away the turn, you know? It's weird. And I'm like, what is this, right? So I remember I was like, I didn't pick it up right then, right? Because I thought, maybe somebody dropped it, maybe somebody's looking for it, right? But I remember saying to myself, if I get to the store, and on the way back, it's still there, I'll pick it up. And that's actually what happened. I got back and it was still there. Nobody really wanted it, right? I didn't know nothing about this game, and I think I missed somewhere in there. Yeah, right there. Oh, twice in a row. Jesus, no wonder. So, I get back. I have very little magic. Uh-oh. Of course he attacked first. Why wouldn't he? And of course he didn't let me run. So anyway, yeah, what was fucked up, though, was that at that point, I was, like, grounded. I don't know what I did. Probably nothing that was that big of a deal, but it was, like, a week with no video games, right? So it was like I found this Nintendo cartridge, and I couldn't even play it. But I remember I said we should just at least check to see if it works, you know, and otherwise it's just garbage, right? And then you know, because there's the thought there, like, somebody threw it into the street. Like, maybe it was garbage. Maybe they meant to hit the trash can and it didn't make it there. But, you know, we put it in the, and you know, what did I do to get grounded, though? I probably, like, I don't know, like, did do my homework or some shit like that, right? But anyway, we tried it out and it worked, and, you know, and then, like, I remember when I was no longer grounded, I played it and, tried to convince myself that it wasn't complete ass. But it was cheeks, just 100% just buns, hot cross buns. And yeah, I remember trying to beat it, though, and I could never get to the last level. I would beat all the other levels, and then there was like a code that you had to put into, oh god, I didn't stop spell them. There was a code you had to put in to access the last level. Like, that's how messed up it is, that you can't even access the last level without putting in a code. And I suppose it might have been something that, that was a good damage roll, though. There we go. It might have been something that would have been, like, detailed in the manual or something. But, because there's all these levels to choose from, and then there's, like, a practice level. And the thing about the practice level, though, is that once you're in it, you can't come out of it. And you're just stuck there. Because you can't beat the practice level, you know? And that's the only way to come out of a level, is to beat it. This is how bad this game is. So I'd managed to do them all and even have Surviving X-Men, and then the only thing left to do is just, like, practice mode. You know? But yeah, I never managed to... we're pretty close to leveling here. Oh, well, I want to try to heal! Oh my god. There we go. So I never even saw the last level, you know? I think I might have, like, watched a speed run of it at one point, but it's such a dire game. Like, it's definitely the worst NES game I own. I probably still have the cartridge sitting in a drawer somewhere. A drawer behind me that isn't completely closed that everybody always comments on, because it, I don't know, bothers them that there's an open drawer. It doesn't have clothes in it. It's full of Nintendo games. That's kind of why it won't close, because it's like it's like stuffed with all these old cartridges and shit. I could probably still do this. Oh, it didn't work. God, I didn't notice that it said that. Spell will not work. My ass. There we go. Yeah, we're getting close to level 16 here. At which point, hopefully, I get good enough stat boost that it'll help. Spell will not work. I'll try it one more time. Alright, got it. Level 16 is one of those levels that's sort of mid, in the sense that you don't generally get good stat boosts for that one. But you don't get, like, terrible ones either, you know? Ah, really? Where did I go wrong? Well, it was an ambush, so... I'm trying to hope that it tries to use Stop Spell. There, or Heal More, rather. There we go, we got it. I only have 10 magic points, let's head in. Okay. Level 18 is a really good one. That's where you get you're bound to get big stat boosts at level 18. Yeah, but level 16 and 17 are not great. Level 17 is better because you get heal more, or mid heal. But the stat growth for those two is it's less. Like, basically, there's a range for each level of stat boost that you can get. For example, going from, first of all, being at level 1, your strength can be anywhere from 3 to 6. It all depends on what your name is, believe it or not. But for strength, you always get 1 strength at level 2, 2 strength at level 3, no strength at level 4. But then there's ranges. At level 5, you can get 4 strength, or you can get 5 strength. For max hit points, you can get, even just going up to level 2, you can get 6 max hit points, or you can get 7. Oh, wrong button. So I'm just looking at the experience chart. So there's ranges, and sometimes they're less, and sometimes they're more. So to give you an example, at level 15, you can get 7 or 8 strength. But at level 16, you can only get 3 or 4. And at level 17, you don't get strength. I might level up from this. No, but the next battle, maybe. It's going to be either 1 or 2 more, depending on what I run into. Oh, man. I don't even have full health. There we go. We got it. Oh my god, I'm one away? That's disgusting. I don't even have enough to fully heal myself, so let's go back in. That's disgusting that I'm 1 experience point away. That's wild. That's gross. Alright. So, looking at the experience chart for strength, the most strength that you can get during a level is when you reach level 18, you can possibly get 13 strength. The most agility that you can get is 9, or actually 10. At the max level, you can't get 10. I mean, that's level 30. Nobody gets to that. But 9 at level 10. You can get 9, and 9 at level 15 as well. Max hit points, the biggest boost you can get is 15, which can happen at level 18 and level 19. And max magic points, the biggest boost you can get is definitely level 16, where you get anywhere from 21 to 23. So let's see how it went here. This is level 16. Alright, power went up by 3, which is, I could have gotten 4, but alright. Speed by 6, that's what you always get 6 here. Hit points by 5, that's the lower range. And magic points by 23, that's the max range. Like, that's the best thing you get there, is like a lot of magic points. But alright, let me stay here. And we're just about at 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop right here, and we'll finish up getting the Silver Shield in the next video. We'll see you guys real soon with more Dragon Quest, aka Dragon Warrior.